What's going on, guys? Today's a really exciting day. We are starting a new drift car build project. And before you say it, no, this is not going to be the new drift car, although that would be sick. But we are taking the engine out of this. So this is an old Chevy Express bus. And on the surface, it might not look like much because the engine is tucked way underneath there. But this is a Chevy LQ9 6-liter. So basically the most desirable truck LS that you can get. It runs perfectly fine, so it's the ideal candidate for an LS swap. As for the car that it's going in, we have another E36. This time it's a late 90s coupe. So my brother-in-law actually bought this car because we had this bus in the family that nobody was using, and they generously gave it to us to use the engine out of. So we were trying to find a car that we could throw the LS in, and we saw this pop up for a super crazy deal. So obviously it's just a roller. It doesn't have an engine, but it does have a FD roll cage, as well as BC coilovers, Garagistic subframe attachments, and a full SLR angle kit. We paid less than the cost of just the coilovers and the angle kit for this car. So by the time you add in the cost for the roll cage, the Garagistic subframes, and everything else that came with the car, it was a really good deal. Couldn't pass it up. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty rough, needs some work. Has almost no wiring throughout the entire car. Everything's been stripped. It was an LS car before, so the transmission tunnel's been cut to fit the T56. And there's some other weird hack jobs going on, but we'll fix all of that. We're gonna start from scratch. First thing we need to do is get the LS tore out of the bus and get some engine mounts so that we can test fit it in the car, and we'll go from there. We'll wire everything up and get this sucker running. I don't know how to operate a bus, guys. Oh, here we go. Oop. Come on in, people. The doors don't work right. Ugh. You can see why they got rid of this bus. It's getting a little rough. But fortunately, it does not have a security key, which means there's no anti-theft. So that's one less thing we have to worry about with this. We could use the stock ECU, just wire it up, not worry about anti-theft, and the car should run and drive just like a stock LS. We might do that at least to start, or we might just go straight to a Holley Terminator because they're so good and such a good deal. They come with a wiring harness for like $1,200. But we'll figure that out later. Right now, we just need to get the engine torn out. We're gonna go ahead and pull the whole wiring harness and the ignition in case we decide to use those. So yeah, start ripping all this stuff out. Unfortunately, with the engine being clear up under the firewall, that means we can't just lift it up with a hoist. So we're probably going to have to drop the subframe, just leave the engine on the subframe, unbolt it, raise up the cab, and roll the engine out. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard, but we'll find out when we get to that point. First things first, we got to tear the whole front end apart, disconnect all the hoses, wires, all that fun stuff, and go from there. All right, so we got the whole front end torn apart. Wasn't too bad. Not gonna be fun to take this thing out. It's got almost 2 subframes. So it's got one here that the steering box attaches to, and then the engine actually mounts to that one back there. So I don't know, we're just gonna have to get under there and see what we gotta loosen up to be able to take that thing out. All right, so we had to go to plan C because the subframe is not removable in this. It's actually part of the frame. So we got the engine unbolted from the mounts, and then the plan is to jack it up from the bottom just enough that we can pull the forward engine, pull the engine forward, get a hoist on the top, and then raise it up and pull it out. So that's what we're gonna try to do now. So we finished getting the engine out yesterday. It was a bit of a struggle. The oil pan was hitting this cross member in here, so we took that out, and then it ended up hitting the steering shaft here, so I just cut that with an angle grinder because we don't need any of this stuff. And then it was hitting this, but we were able to just bend that down, get it out of the way, and pull it up and out of there. So there she is. We got our 6-liter LQ9. Has a 4L80E on it that we won't be using, so we can sell that for good money for all the drag car guys. Now we just need to get the whole wiring harness out and the ECU, probably the fuse box. We may not end up using this wiring harness or the ignition, but I want to take them out just in case we do want them before we junk the bus. That way we'll have everything we could possibly need from it. But first things first, I want to get this transmission off of here and get the engine put on a stand. I finally got the transmission off the engine and got the engine on a stand. I was being kind of dumb. I don't work on automatic transmissions very often. I forgot you can just take off the inspection cover and unbolt the torque converter from the flywheel, and then the whole thing just drops off. It's way easier than trying to pull it off. But anyways, we got it off. Engine's on a stand now. So we need to get a lot of this stuff off so we can clean up the block, get rid of all these lines we don't need, wires and all that stuff, get the clutch fan off. We won't be running that. But we're going to save all that for next time. For right now, we need to finish getting the wiring, the ECU, and the fuse box out of the bus. So we got the ECU and the whole engine harness. And then part of the engine harness goes to the fuse box. We may or may not use the actual fuse box from this in the E36 since it doesn't have any wires in it currently. Not sure yet, but I want to get the fuse box out just in case we do want it. And I want to leave as many of the wires as possible because we're not 100% sure what we're going to need. So that means I need to get all of the wires through the firewall from the inside. Hopefully most of them can be disconnected, at least the ignition, we may want that. Basically anything under the dash, if it has a connector, I'll disconnect it and pull it through the firewall. If it doesn't have a connector, then we'll just cut it and pull it out. This is the not so fun part, trying to get up under the dash to disconnect everything. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but it should only take a couple minutes, so I'm gonna hurry up and bust that out so we can be done with it. All right, so I ripped the whole dash apart, just broke everything because we don't need it. It's just gonna go to the junkyard. And now I need to get the steering wheel off so that I can get the ignition off. So we already got the bolt out. So I'm thinking we can just take a good old slide hammer and hopefully pull this sucker off. Oh yeah, 2 hits, that's all she took. Get this crap out of the way, whatever that is. And now we can maybe get to our ignition bolt here. I don't think we're getting to that one, so looks like we've got a stupid C-clip in here so we can pull this stuff off. Lots of fun, just to get wiring that we may not even use, but I'd rather do it now, spend a couple hours, than send it to the junkyard and regret not having this stuff later. So we'll keep on trucking. All right, here is our absolutely beautiful mess of wires. It ended up being a lot more work than I thought it would be because the bulk of the harness went up behind the dash to the heater core radio and things like that. And of course they did not have a quick disconnect on any of that, so had to rip out the whole dash, or at least get it moved so that I could get in behind it and cut the wires behind the radio and everything. I could have cut them right under the dash, but I wasn't sure if any of those wires went to the ignition or to anything else that mattered. They didn't all go to the radio and heater controls. So I decided I'd rather be safe than sorry and spend an extra hour ripping the dash out so that I could get to the wires. But that being said, I think we're done with the bus. I believe we have everything off of it that we need, so we can get that out of here, send it to the junkyard, and now we can start working on the engine. Got a whole bunch of parts to order for the car. We need engine mounts, everything like that. I think the plan for right now is to do this build absolutely as cheap as possible. So really, other than buying engine mounts, we're just gonna slap the engine in, do something with the stock exhaust. It's not gonna be pretty, but we don't care about that. Probably not going to run a hood anyways because the stock truck intake would stick out the hood as well as the alternator unless you bought a F-body style accessory relocation kit. But we don't care about any of that right now. We just want to get this thing in there and get it running. So these truck intakes actually make really good power the way they are. So there's not really any performance reason to upgrade it. Really, the only reason we would need to change that out is so that it would fit under the hood. We are going to do a cam at least, I think, probably a sloppy stage 2 and AC delete. We'll have to get rid of these extra long lines or extra long filler neck and dipstick and get everything cleaned up. Since we're doing a cam, we'll probably have to up the injector size, but I'm thinking we'll just decap the injectors. If you haven't heard of that, don't worry, we'll go over it and how to do it later. But yeah, now the real fun begins. It's going to be a long build just like the 2JZ, but it should be a lot easier because there won't be as much fab work. Don't have to worry about turbo and everything like that. So hopefully it'll be a pretty quick build. We can get it done in a couple of months and get it running, driving, drifting, and go from there. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I think it's going to be really cool to have a LS and a 2JZ E36 so we can compare the two, see which one feels better, which one's cheaper, which one sounds better, all of those things. It's going to be a really fun back-to-back comparison. So make sure you stick around, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and if you do me a favor, hit that like button. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.